So I'm going to take a few moments and share the symptoms of anxiety that I went through, not knowing it at the time what it was, just constantly feeling it was my core self. These feelings of anxiety were me, and maybe even more damaging. The thoughts of the future of this is what my life will constantly be. If you'd like, if you feel safe, I'd be very grateful if you can share what you went through with your anxiety if you had it. How did you come out of it? What were your symptoms? What triggered it? My symptoms of anxiety were those tapes playing in my head constantly. That would lead me to such shaky feelings of I could not sleep. I went weeks without sleeping or broken sleep. I would lay curled up on the ball. My feet were sweating, my hands were sweating, and I was a nervous wreck. And what I mean by a nervous wreck is the slightest little creak, the slightest little noise from outside would make me shake and jump 5 feet up in the air. It's a terrible feeling. The feeling of all these things that you must get done right now. And if you don't do them, the world is going to come to an end and you're no good and you're a failure. And you see where I'm going with that. Where does that come from? Again, my examples. I've talked about this before in other videos. Is the narcissist in my life used to get home from work at something like 6:10 or 6:15 off the bus, directly across the street from our apartment. We could see it. And beginning at a specific time, I'm not sure what time it was, perhaps an hour earlier or 2 hours earlier, I would start feeling these great feelings of anxiety that doom was coming my way, that I was going to get blamed for something, that I was going to get hit, that I was going to get beaten, that I was going to be told constantly how bad I did during that day. Did I polish the furniture enough? Did I take care of my brother in the right way? What was going to happen to me when that person got off of that bus? Always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And by the way, I've made a movie, the the other shoe, or waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm not sure what the name of it is. It's that constant feeling of perhaps sitting around the dinner table with the narcissist, waiting for them to absolutely turn into from a Dr. Jekyll to a Mr. Hyde, waiting for them to scream, "Can I have a moment's peace?" Waiting for them to haul off and slap you across the face without even uttering a word. Waiting for them, waiting for them, waiting for them. It's ingrained in my DNA. My anxiety, after I realized what narcissistic abuse was, even got worse. Because I would realize, or I would think, how could you be so foolish? How could you fall back into a trap again? You're an idiot. And it goes into that cycle. When my anxiety was at its worst, I was taking care of a son. I was co-parenting with his mom, who happens to be a wonderful mom. I would have to go to the store, which I hate doing. I did not like to leave the house. I did not like noises, and I did not like being around people. I would somehow, and this is really strange, I know, I would feel as I'm walking through the grocery store, as if I was looking down on myself. I would feel that people were looking at me and they were thinking, what's wrong with that guy? Now, I was clean shaven, I was clean, my hair was combed, but I always felt that I was noticeable. I always felt that people or a person around me could tell that there was something wrong about me, that I was no good. It was waiting for that other shoe. It was the unknown that was implanted in me. And I know a lot of married people have it. Waiting for your husband to come home, waiting for your wife to come home, waiting for your children to come home. My experience was it was embedded into me, beaten into me as a child. Growing up with that. What next? When's it going to come? Oh my God. And going through the tapes of did I do this right? Or so forth and so on. I had to be medicated. This is years ago. And you know what? I have just about, not completely, but just about zero anxiety these days. How do I do that? I recognize it for what it is. If it's not an emergency, I can put it off to the side. When I think about my health in the future, I think about my health today. When I worry about what if they contact me, I recognize that they've not contacted me today. When I worry about not being with family during holidays, I'm grateful that I am not with family during holidays. I remember what that was like during the holidays. I remember what that was like every single day. I go back and I say, okay, what's going on right now? You're safe. You have your dog by your side. You got lots of friends. You have people that love you. You have an amazing young man. Presently deployed overseas. Eesh. But I spoke to him just 2 days ago, and he's safe. He's got good people around him. I think about what I have today. I have this community. When I'm having such thoughts, such feelings, I have this community. I go back and I look at a specific video and I read the comments. And thank each one of you for that. Really, truly, thank you. Have the peace in knowing this, that both depression and the anxiety are symptoms of both PTSD and abuse from a narcissistic person in your life. You can recognize it and you can treat it. And while you're into it, while you're in the midst of either depression or anxiety, try to keep this in the back of your mind that this too will pass, because it will. Have the peace in knowing that, please.